if you say about mutual trade, we have a tendency that it was since 2013, it's a last pre-war year. Practically, we have some fall in export operations, but at the same time, import operations too. Practically all these years, we have a positive balance for Ukraine in our mutual trade. If we say about main merchant groups, for example, from Ukraine, the main merchant group is ferrous metals and products of them. It's 62%. Railway locomotives and equipment for new nuclear power plants. From Bulgaria, the main merchant is fuel and petroleum products, fertilizers 15.2%, and mechanical equipment and mechanism 14%. For another main sphere of cooperation is tourism, and the quantity of tourists from Ukraine rise from year to year, and unfortunately a quantity of tourists from Bulgaria to Ukraine is less, because it's above 99 and sometimes such figures. On political level and the problems of security, I can mention that, for example, in strategy of national security of Bulgaria, it is noted that the Republic of Bulgaria considers the Black Sea region is in a wide European and Euro-Atlantic context for deepening cooperation between countries in economic, trade and security. This region is especially important in the context of development of the network of transportation of main energy resources, linking manufacturers with energy markets in Europe. And in strategy of national security of Bulgaria is mentioned the crisis in Ukraine and illegal annexation of the Crimean peninsula, which leads to the violation of geostrategic and military balance. But at the same time, in Bulgarians' strategy for national security didn't mention Russia. Officially, Bulgaria do not recognize annexation of Crimea, and at the same time, since the beginning of Russian aggression, the ruling Bulgarian elites conducts a foreign policy which characterized, maybe by some Bulgarians or Ukrainian experts, like a geopolitical twine. It means that from one side, as a member of European Union and NATO, Bulgaria demonstrates loyalty to these organizations, while trying to maintain good relations with Russia. For example, Ukraine since 90s tried to satisfy cultural and maybe educational some needs of Bulgarian minority, but at the same time we know that this minority is known for their sympathies to pro-Russian political parties. Russia have a strong temptation to use these pro-Russian sympathies to provoke separatism in this region. First time, as I mentioned it was made in 90s, when on the way of centrifugal trends in the Soviet Union, local communist officials and some national activists tried to organize a Bessarabian republics. A second attempt was in April 2015, when it was founded People's Council of Bessarabia, which threatened Ukraine with the creation of Bessarabia People's Republic. Also, we can remind that in May 2020, Bulgarian parliament protested against reform on decentralization in Ukraine because, as deputies thought, it threatened Bulgarian minority, but in this question it was reached a compromise. Bulgarian district in which lives majority of Bulgarians, it was preserved, but as a result of it we have another problems. At first one, if in old Bulgar districts, it was 76% of Bulgarians. Now in New Bulgaria, Bulgar districts, we have above 60% of Bulgarians. And at the same time, we have a ground for some social conflict inside these districts. In finishing, I can mention maybe some directions in which I think we have a possibility to cooperate with. First, it is cooperation in questions of transport and infrastructure. Still exists, but it works very bad affair between Chernomorsk and Varna. Then we can cooperate inside a framework of Danube strategy for strategy of European Union for Danube region, especially in ecological questions. Then cooperation in questions of military technologies, cooperation in questions of combating hybrid threats, first of all information war, because Ukraine have another experience for helping Bulgarians in this case. And last but not least, it's a cooperation between military power, especially between navies of two our countries.